Dude, that thing is wicked. What a shot. Joe, you just parked it. Joe, you just put it 5 feet from the pin.
Are you kidding?
You just put it 5 feet from the pin. That was sick. Those are not bad shots. I don't want to hear that noise from you. Let's get the paradox out of the way.
It's in?
No!
What's up, everybody? If there's been one comment over the years that has dominated our comment sections, our DMs, it has been, when are you going to do the definitive forehand tutorial? And there's nobody better on the earth to bring in for this than the man who, I mean, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, and maybe you're not the person to answer this, but was there anyone before you that defined what a forehand was?
I think to answer that question, there were many players before me that had great forehands. I think of like Scott Stokely. There were dudes in the 90s that were throwing forehand that were kind of like, that was like their gimmick, is that they were the forehand guy, and that was like almost all that they did.
Because it wasn't a big part of the game.
Well, there's a reason for that. But I think the majority of the sport and the best players in our sport predicated their entire game on backhand because it's just more dynamic. You can do more with the backhand due to the contact points, the amount of spin, the RPMs, the speed of the disc, and all that. So the forehand seemed like it was kind of limiting. And the other thing is that the disc technology really couldn't handle what a forehand can do. And it wasn't until Discraft came out with the zone in 2008 to appease Michael Johansson to give him a putter that there was a low speed overstable forehand approach disc, except for some people would say the classic rock from Innova, but
smaller diameter.
But not many people really were throwing it forehand.
No.
But the small diameter approach discs that really introduced the forehand approach game to the world on a massive scale. And so the disc technology continuously improved to give players more of a dynamic approach, whether you want to go forehand or backhand. Before those discs really had arrived, I was a very stubborn person, and I said, Stan McDaniel, famous course designer and Charlotte legend, 3-time Masters world champion and Hall of Famer. He told me, hey man, you have a great forehand, but the best players are all backhand. And I said, that's cool. I'm gonna do it my way, because when I want to get from point A to point B, and I do it this way, I get there.
Yeah.
So why would I change that up? And I think that stubbornness allowed me to kind of integrate this style of play into the pro field that really hadn't been seen in the all-encompassing forehands that go left, right, straight, and everything. Scott Stokely, big forehand, hyzers and all that, but I don't think that he was really implementing the touchy stuff. Although, to be fair, there's not much footage of the 90s when he was dominating.
Sure.
And no offense to Scott Stokely, I know he's got a great touch game. I know he was throwing his approaches, but I think I made it more of like my style of play than anyone else had up to that point, except for maybe like Nate Sexton on the West Coast.
Okay, so that answers my question. For me, my experience of disc golf, I started playing in 2008. You were the person that defined from maybe that 2010 to 16 or 18 or something. You defined being able to play disc golf with being forehand dominant. Obviously have a big backhand, but doing stuff that nobody else is doing. Throwing lines and carving things, not just for fun, but on pro tour kind of things. That, I remember that blue D2 that you threw all over your USDGC win, and the kind of shot shaping that you were doing during that. Somebody that came from Ultimate was forehand only forever. I mean, no backhand at all, not one.
Can resonate with that.
For me, it was like, this is somebody that, again, because I heard all that stuff too. Yeah, I mean, at some point you're going to have to learn backhand because you can't do it.
And it's true.
And that's true, obviously. But to have somebody that's like, well, that guy's doing it and he does it really well. So for me, you sort of defined what forehand is and what the forehand means in disc golf.
Thank you.
And so I want to bring the people into conversations that you and I already have privately, because we're nerds about this stuff and love it.
Yeah.
Let the people get a little bit of a taste of it. We're going to play some disc golf, throw some fun lines with a bunch of MVP stuff.
Long time coming, man. This is a series. If this turns out to be a series of videos, this is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and to kind of try to describe with words what my eye sees visually as I'm imagining lines and why it makes sense for the forehand and why it might be easier for me to achieve this this problem. How can I solve this problem with the forehand and why that might make more sense than a backhand?
Well, I think we'll get to see it today. I always go back to, I was just talking to somebody in the shop a couple of days ago about that ace that you got with us together at Kilbourne, 4 hex. Yeah, yep. Come back right now. Ace, 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 ace. Yes!
Are you serious?
Yes!
Are you serious? Are you serious? Let's go!
It's like, it's 330 or something, slightly downhill. Nobody on earth is throwing forehand hex on that.
No.
And you aced it. And so for me, one of the cool comments that I'll get is if I go somewhere and I go play a course and it's somebody's home course, they've played it a million times, and they say, I've never even thought to do that line on that hole. And so I think, to your point earlier, yes, there's certainly the possibility of more things backhand. You can generate more spin and whatever. However, on the opposite side of that, there are things that you can do forehand that you cannot do backhand.
Very good point.
So let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's throw some shots. Okay, so before we get started with this video, I want to talk about a few of the basics on forehand, just to kind of, so we're all on the same page here. Grip, quite simply for me, I take the middle of my middle finger and I put it in the wedge of the disc. That's the place where the flight plate and the rim wall meet. I want to keep my middle finger kind of halfway on each. That way I can control putting pressure into the rim to get force behind the disc, but I can also control the flight plate with my thumb and my index finger, so that way I can control the angles and hyzers and all that stuff.
Which is something that I see people do, is their fingers are here and the disc is wobbling. There's no, you don't want it to be, you know, weird, but you need to at least be farther into the flight plate to get some level of control.
We all have different size hands, right?
Right.
And so some people, they can't quite get 2 fingers in the rim. So some people do different things. They want to get, this is like the Nate Sexton grip where he does the fingers wrapped up. Awesome. I've seen people do like the trigger finger,
the stacked
finger like that. Like some people call that the power grip. Whatever's comfortable for you is something you should go with. But I try to keep a couple things in mind. I want to be able to hold the disc in a way that the disc itself is lined up with my forearm, so that when I'm controlling angle, I'm not just controlling it with my wrist, I'm also controlling it with my forearm. So I can lead that angle with my arm, and the disc should follow as well.
Which is a deviation from somebody like Macbeth, or then somebody like Owen, who does this thing and it's here. And then does it eventually get to the flat plane you're talking about?
So even when they do this, and I do a little bit of the swing down as well here, I kind of bring it up top and then I pull it through to kind of create that drag and a little bit more, instead of reaching my arm back here, which would hurt my shoulder over time, I bring it down through here so that way I can get a little momentum into the throw.
And at the point of attack here.
And then it's all efficient and straight line from about this point forward, but they're still lining the disc up with their arm. And all good players are going to do that, just to make sure that the disc isn't coming out with flutter or off axis torque. And that way you are controlling the nose angle all with the arm itself. Footwork. I do the last 4 steps on all of my forehands are the same. Sometimes I'll do a standstill, but if I do any run up at all, it's going to be right. Well, I'm going to start up here. My body's going to be facing the target. Right foot starts getting my body turned. Left foot really body starts to turn, and then I do a shuffle step where this foot comes almost behind this completely, but before it hits the ground, this last foot is getting into the plant position. So in more of a real time, it would be right, left, and then in a real speed, it would look like this. Okay?
Into your living room.
Right into your living room. And what I'm doing there is I'm getting my body in a position where I can see everything in front of me that's important and pertinent to my shot. And in those steps, I'm getting into position where my body is now perpendicular, my hips are open, so I can bring the disc and my elbow through my hips and open my hips back up into my shot with my plant foot facing forward.
One of the things that I tell people too, this is obviously, this portion is for people that are sort of just starting out. I just had this experience with Zeke. I started spinning a basketball on my finger when I was his age. He wanted to learn how to do that. So I spin it the other direction that he does. He's a lefty.
Oh.
And so I'm trying to teach him how to spin it. And so I did it the other way for him. And just the idea of flipping it the other way, it brought me into the awareness of, because I'm like, dude, you just throw it up, you hold it and center it, and you try to do it the other way, and you don't have the muscle memory for it. So the biggest thing that I would say is like, yes, do everything that you just said. Fix your grip in that way, footwork, work on that stuff, get your hips moving, keep things fluid, snap the wrist at the end. But it also just comes down to reps. Like for the newest players, I always tell them 100 bad shots. If you throw 100 bad disc golf shots, you will feel yourself perceptibly getting better. Same with forehand. Just go out and play a forehand only round and find yourself getting better. It may be 200 bad forehand shots or something, but you've got to get the reps in to start to feel the disc come out the right way and just do it. Because so much of this is muscle memory.
You're going to find yourself, especially for those who are like, man, I don't have a forehand. Not yet. Don't go into it with that attitude. And know that those first 5 or 6 holes, a lot of your shots are going to come out dumpy and hyzer. They're going to cut roll, and you're going to have a lot of shots that hyzer out too early, and you're going to want to give up. Don't.
Yes.
Throw those bad shots and continuously stick with them, because through that, you are going to learn how, okay, so if this thing hyzered off too much, was that a disc selection issue? Or was that because I just didn't put enough on it, or I didn't roll my wrist a little bit, because some roll of the wrist is good with the right disc, or I rolled my wrist too much. And all those things, you're not going to figure those things out if you give up with the first 5 or 6 bad shots you throw.
Set a camera up in front of you too.
Totally.
And just get, even if it's 3 throws, see visually what your body is doing. Because you may be thinking, I am doing exactly what he said, and then you see it and you're like, I'm not. I am not.
Not quite.
And it'll help.
Yeah, a lot of times you think you're throwing with hyzer, and then when you slow-mo it, you realize it's actually coming out flat. So then you have to learn how to be more disciplined with keeping that palm up through the shot itself.
Exactly. Okay. What are you going, tempo?
Yeah, I mean, this is a 260. Plays a little bit shorter because it's a little bit downhill. So, I mean, and it fades right at the end. So the tempo's perfect for it. Gets me a nice straight. We're not going to
try to do trick shots right off the jump.
Yeah, so
me either.
When I'm looking at a shot like this, you got the signal. Jeez Louise. When I'm looking at this shot here, you know, it goes to the right, so it's a good forehand hole. But that just because it goes to the right doesn't mean that it's a good forehand hole. Sometimes it sets up better for the backhand and hyzer. But this one actually does set up really well for the forehand because of the timing that you have to get the disc to break. So that's one of the things I look at when I look at this fairway. I see the gap and I see the line, and I kind of imagine like almost like a dotted line, like what's the path of travel that I want that's going to open up the fairway the most. And I try to judge the distance in the gaps between the trees at the end of the fairway. Does it make more sense to go high, stall with something flat that just falls out to the right? Or do I want to kind of go straight at those trees there and kind of have it flip up towards them and then slowly break through the gap towards the basket? And I think when I'm looking at this hole here, that's the intended line that I think hits the gap best for me.
You're talking about something that's kind of pushy hyzer?
Pushy hyzer, yeah. So the tempo is actually perfect for it because it's a really straight disc that when thrown with hyzer, it will stand up flat.
Sure.
But then just break off to the right.
Yeah.
If I wanted to do that other shot where I wanted to go kind of stall straight at it and go past those 2 trees at the end of the fairway and have it break late, I might try to go with something like a pyro.
Yeah, sure.
And kind of throw it with Anheuser, and then it kind of gets that top apex, and then it'll just fall out to the right.
Well, this is the beauty of why we love disc golf, is because you could also go slower, arm speed, distance driver, low, get the skip, get that jump skip over,
totally.
Fireball, or even something faster than that.
Yeah.
So let's see the tempo.
Let's do the tempo. A little bit of a right to left, so that's going to cause me to try to put a little bit more hyzer on it to kind of adjust for any sort of right to left push the disc might get.
A little windy today.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that dotted line that you're talking about, that's exactly what you're describing. It's perfect. Yeah, or something for me, and we'll talk about this later too, because I think it's really cool to get into the brain of people, how they're conceptualizing stuff. For me, I see like little hula hoops in the airspace
cool.
that I'm trying to get through. So like,
I love that.
Fireball, there's an initial one here, there's another one down to the left, and if I can get through there, then I know the disc will finish doing it for me.
I love the hula hoops. Hula hoops not only give you the line, the straight line that you want to take, but also give you the height.
That's right.
So you're focusing on 2 things.
Yes.
You know, if you read Golf is Not a Game of Perfect, Dr. Bob Bertella is asking, I think he's asking Watson. Oh, no, he's asking Arnold Palmer. like, what are you focusing on? And he says, I'm looking at that leaf. And he said, which leaf? Or which tree? It's like, I'm looking at that leaf on that tree in the background. He's focusing on such a narrow target that if he misses the narrow target by a little bit, he's still hitting it on line.
I see a lot of people, especially backhand, that are just kind of spraying at a certain speed and kind of hoping to hit the initial gap. And I think as you progress, you should be trying to hit multiple things and correcting where the height is. And then obviously the next stage is what angle is the disc on when it gets through both of those things.
Oh, that's the other part.
I'll probably hit first available after all that. Fireball.
You're not hitting first available, Joe. Like, no one on this planet, I'm convinced of this, there's not a single player on the planet who has got a better forehand that hasn't played in a PDJ tournament. There can't be, right?
I paid him $100 on Venmo to say that.
That's true, he did, but I also believe it.
Here's a trail. I'm going to try to go kind of low, skippy hyzer.
Going trail. Okay.
A little higher than I meant to.
You split the two. He hit the cage. Ooh, he just hit the cage.
Yeah, I did not hit my line though.
Just hit the cage.
Cage, not its line, not bummer.
Have you thrown the softer OTB run of Pyro?
I did a little bit. Yeah, and this one's really pretty.
I'm gonna try this signal. I want to see if I can
sweet.
Put enough hyzer on it. I'm gonna try to go the inside gap. And so I'm aiming like the leaves that are coming off that one tree, I'm kind of aiming up on hyzer.
If you don't know what a signal is, it's incredibly unstable. A lot of hyzer.
Well,
keep that edge of the disc down.
Yeah, I was a little off.
And allow the disc to just kind of manipulate its way up. That was a nice shot.
I have one more signal. I'm gonna try to make the correction.
I'm gonna go flippy with you too, Joe.
Yeah, that's better. Get over there. Ooh, one tree.
I'll go hex.
I like that idea.
It's not flippy per se, but it's not flippy like signal, but it is just a very straight, direct line.
To me, this feels like the pushier version of your tempo shot. Get in there. Get in. Oh.
The one tree I didn't see on the corner, but yeah, I like that.
We ride. This is a hole that's a heck of a lot different than the last hole, and why I'm super glad that you're here. My forehand distance that I comfortably like throwing, and I have touch where I can say at the very end of the flight I can still control what the disc is doing, is probably like 320 or something.
Okay, that's a good distance.
Whereas yours is probably what, 400 or something,
nearing that.
And so a 370 foot tunnel shot that needs to finish left, that's going to be challenging. I'm going to throw some shots, probably badly, but talk about the way you're thinking about this hole.
I lick my chops. I used to lick my chops on holes like these. This is when I'd see a shape like this on a course, I thought I had a great advantage because I felt like this was a shot where players would throw the backhand, just turn their brain off, throw the backhand with something straight, and by the time it gets there, it normally was fading off and finishing 50 feet left or so.
Sure.
And players progressively gotten better and better. Now they can throw mid-ranges and throw it straight and they can park this.
Yeah.
But back in the day, I felt like I had an advantage because I could throw something to the right side of the fairway with a little bit of anhyzer with a disc that was already understable. So it's naturally just going to really pull off to that left side. But over the length of like a 370 foot hole like we have here, the disc is running out of spin and it's slowing down and it's flattening out.
Yeah.
And so its fade is bringing it back to the basket and other players were going away. So like when I'm dialed in, this shot right here suits the eye really well because I have enough space off to that right side and there's enough things missing on that left side that the disc has plenty of room to work its way back down the fairway.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I can make myself throw a 400 foot forehand right now. I just know that if I do that more than 10 times in a week, I'm going to have to get Tommy Johns. And so,
very good point. Yeah, that's the other thing. I think that I think for 20 years being able to throw forehand without having elbow issues, it has a lot to do with disc selection and form choices that I made that I didn't really know at the time I was preserving my body for the long term. But what I was doing, instead of going chopping style, like lumberjack forehand, which I saw a lot of players doing, like Jeff Bennett, he'd have elbow issues, but he had a hell of a forehand, but he was just doing this motion right here, and he's putting a lot of pressure on his shoulder and his elbow. And I was bringing my elbows close to my hip as possible. moving my hip inwards if I got to go more hyzer, and just doing those little things to try to stay upright and keep everything fluid, and not trying to do too much of this herky-jerky motion, which wears down the
bow, bow,
right,
instead of something. And I want to spend more than 4 seconds talking about this, but the thing that I've always like modeled my forehand after is the way that your wrist is loose and is coming through, and you're snapping a whip.
Right.
Whereas instead of going bludgeon, it's
very touchy.
It's dynamic and fluid all the way through. So anyway, here we go.
All right, I got Cosmic Neutron Trace. Try to keep this off to the right side for a decent bit, and then have it break left.
I mean, it's just gorgeous.
And can even turn even more.
Yeah, but even still, you're 27, maybe 35 feet and pin high.
Yeah, we'll take that. This is also very similar. This is a bokeh. This is the brand new Simon Line disc. And this will hold the turn.
Is it a 9-speed?
I think it's a 7-speed. Maybe it's a 9-speed.
I don't know. It's probably a 7.
I think
it does kind of feel like T-Bird 3, Leopard 3.
Beautiful flight.
All right.
Beautiful flight.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh, it was so good. So these will be bad shots. I'm going to stack the deck and tell you these are not going to be good shots.
Okay, let's see it.
But I'm going super flippy. Instead of pushing all the way there, I'm trying to go hyzer into the gap, have it flip up, and then turn kind of late, and just see what happens.
No kidding. That is so flippy. Look at that thing break over to the left, and we got a beautiful hawk flying across the fairway.
That's still fine. I mean, it's not great. And then impulse will be a little slower and a little flippier, I think.
Dude, that thing is wicked. What a shot. Joe, you just parked it. Joe, you just put it 5 feet from the pin.
Are you kidding?
You just put it 5 feet from the pin. That was sick. Those are not bad shots. I don't want to hear that noise from you.
A little bit of
oh, I see it. Man. That thing's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
All right, this is 297 down the hill. Probably plays 260 or something, maybe?
Yeah. I think I'm trying to get 275, 280 out of it. I mean, this one's tough for the forehand in terms of distance because, like, you have to do a lot here. There's a lot of shot shaping, and so that requires...
Because your right side is pretty blocked.
Yes.
You can't use this part of the fairway. It's got to be dead straight all the way through.
All right, so it's not unusual to see someone try to force an anhyzer forehand on a shot shaped like this. The trick here, what makes the hole 3 kind of tricky for the forehand, is that the turn is kind of abrupt at a pretty far distance down the fairway.
Yeah,
and so
80% down there.
Exactly.
That's when it needs to turn.
Exactly. So if it was a little bit shorter, if that break, if that corner were a little bit closer to the tee pad, then I think you could play it like it's 260 and just throw something naturally that kind of turns and just glides down there. The problem with this hole, though, is because that break is sitting at like that 280 mark, almost, you have to throw it a little bit harder and force the disc to do more of a rapid turn at a later spot in the fairway. Does that make sense?
It does. Show me with the detour, because I've got a couple of signals and your paradox. So why don't you go
steal my paradox?
detour
right, I'll
and
steal your signal and I'll go with my detour.
We'll see how we do.
Okay. Again, the idea here is if I start this thing flat with an understable disc, it's going to rip over to the left way too soon. So it has to be with hyzer, meaning I've got to go pretty unstable here. And like I said, I want to pump up the speed just a bit, a little bit more spin than I would normally go for a sub 300 foot hole. But hopefully you get everything right, it shapes up perfect.
Beauty. Come on. Yeah, that's part.
That's absolutely.
That's on the pole.
That is really good.
Here's the other thought with something that's understable, that people are like, you know, if I do Rolo or Founder or something, like, how the heck, I can't get it to do anything other than just turn over. It's not just hyzer. It's a little bit nose up too.
Nose up hyzer.
Yeah.
Crucial.
Because you're having to prevent the thing from flipping and also keep flying. So this may be horrible, but I'm going to go hyzer through the center gap. You went detour first. I'll go paradox first.
All right, go paradox. And I'm going to add to that point you just said in a second.
Because I'm going to kind of aim for center right
Mm-hmm.
of the fairway on hyzer, knowing that this paradox is going to flip.
That is such a hard disc to throw forehand. That is so stupid, Joe. Bro, I don't even know why I'm even here right now, dude. That's so good. That's so hard to throw. All right. So to your point, it's not just hyzer. Because you throw nose down hyzer, it's going to roll over it. I don't care. You throw nose up hyzer, that's great. Now here's the third part of that. You got the hyzer, you got the nose up. Now the objective of the shot is ultimately to make it go left. However, in my brain, I'm going to trick my stupid hand because it's going to want to do this thing where I'm going to naturally try to shape it off to the left. No, bad hand. What I'm actually going to try to do is I'm going to try to throw a spike hyzer as if I'm throwing a hyzer with a stable disc out to the right side.
Correct.
And I'm going to follow through on that motion like that to trick my hand into keeping that palm up. That stupid palm wants to roll over to force it go left. No, stupid hand, go right.
Stabby spin.
And then
up.
the trust of that should allow the disc to actually do what it wants to do,
Yeah.
which is eventually go left.
Yeah. I think that's going to...
Somehow I've thrown a signal hyzer. That I have not seen before, but that's your signal. What do you have there? Is that actually a signal? Did you just misstamp that?
It's a Terra. No,
That's
it's
a
signal.
Terra. Okay, that makes more sense.
Basically same shot shape as before, just harder. No.
Oh!
Yeah. Hey, first two were good. I'll take those.
I'm going to try something here that I think can
Ooh.
get there, but we're going to go range.
Use the height, floating
Use the
shot.
height.
Yeah.
Right. And this one I can actually throw flat, and thrown hard enough, this thing will get to a point where it's just going to slowly start drifting left. So we'll see if we can access that fairway here. This is pretty far for range though. This thing doesn't have a ton of glide,
Yeah, it wants to
but it
just
has a
get to the
great
ground.
shot shape.
Yeah. It's so good. Keep going.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
that's
got
there.
it. We got it.
All right, I'm going to try one more. I'll go that impulse I threw on hole 2. I'm trying to get the throw it fast stab spin so that once it gets down there, then it turns. It has all of the...
It's kind of what the same thing I was trying to do with the detour. Faster.
a little bit too much. Yeah.
I was
All
saying, it's amazing that we actually somehow missed all those trees up to this point.
Forehands are dumb.
Doesn't hit a thing. Doesn't hit a thing. What you want to do is
Full power and no warm-up.
beautiful moment.
What you gonna do is... Should have been a forehand. No more putting. Here's Jerm's detour. Flush. So hole 4 is this really kind of short 432 foot par 4. You think based on the shape of the fairway for your tee shot, it's an obvious backhand. This is one of those holes where, you know, whereas the last hole, you probably just throw a putter shot backhand,
Yeah,
and it's, you know, that's your highest percentage. This is a perfect example of a hole where the disc actually lands off the tee is so important. And so if you throw a backhand here, sure, you can throw something flippy and hope that it stands up and lays down flat, but you are flirting with jail on the left side. For me, this is a little forehand turnover shot that gets you up and into the landing zone. I feel like I can direct it more. Is that how you would think of this?
Well, I think of this as a forehand, not because of the danger on the left side, which is certainly possible. I think of it as a danger on the right side because the trees that really come into play the quickest are right there, and it's hard to get the disc to activate and start breaking left and flipping up with the backhand before you get to those trees. So oftentimes when I see people throw backhands here, they outdrive the fairway before the disc gets a chance to get back down the
And
core.
so then if it hits one of these on the right side, it's
The forehand
right
hyzer,
side,
however, can hit that turn before it gets those trees, and as it's flattening out, it's riding down the fairway the whole time.
Sure. So what disc would you throw here normally? If you're not, I mean, you could probably go huge too.
Yeah,
but
I've got a couple options here. I've got everything from the 14.5 speed teleport, which I love for shots that are drivers on tour that go left. This thing is like a cheat code. When I get the stability and the angle correct on this thing, it is. I've never thrown forehand shots farther.
Is it like longer mayhem or something?
Yeah, it's longer than anything. It's longer than anything.
That's huge.
It's super fast. And that 14.5 rim width is difficult for some people to get comfortable with it, so it might not be for everyone. And it can be a little squirrely when the wind picks up. But right now we're kind of protected from the elements and the wind's down, so this thing actually can probably be the best chance to get me like a look for eagle. But if I'm playing it like a tournament shot, I would probably go with the Trace, which is probably my #1 woods disc on tour this year for forehand shots that are shaped kind of like this.
It's like slower controllable Wraith, like
Yeah,
flippy Wraith or
I say
something?
slightly less stable Wraith.
Okay.
And yeah, that's kind of, it's very familiar field. It's 11 speed, just like the Wraith.
It's just, it feels like it's 10.5 or something.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It may
maybe.
just be my hand. I don't know.
All right, Joe, I'm going to try this teleport here. Try to give it some good height, give it some good turn, and let's get something up there, huh?
All right. Yes. No. Oh, great tree. I'll do
So close. Just got to turn it a little bit more.
one aggressive shot with the orbital, and then the safer
Play
know that it's going to turn shot and land hopefully where I want it to with the paradox. You know, like you do. No, too much turn. I was trying to direct it instead of.
Yep, let the disc do the work, man. That's the #1 thing. There's letting the disc do the work.
And that's exactly where I want to land for an upshot here, because
Okay.
it's straight down the tunnel.
I'm going to try to land exactly where I want to land an upshot, which is putting.
Cannot relate. Oh, it's so good. No, yeah. I thought it had the look. The only person I know who has eagled this is Kevin Jones on a forehand.
He's got such a boomer forehand, dude.
Yeah. All right, so paradox, I've got 2 paths to get there. I could either go hyzer, flip up, land and slide, or go right side of this single tree.
Which has got to be the way you're going to go.
Yes, that's what I'm gonna do.
Way cooler. Way cooler. Oh.
Use the whole fairway.
All right, I like the range here because it gives me a good opportunity to run the shot with a good line, straight line at it, but also that
Settling
little
down.
parachute, the Paul Ulibarri patented parachute, when the disc just runs out of spin.
Yeah. I can already see the shot before you've thrown it. Yeah. That is called a professional disc golf shot.
Keep it right
Here-
on that line, very
here's
narrow.
Here's the thing about upshots, though, for me, and this was especially important when I was starting with forehands. If I can do this
Yeah,
instead of
good point.
so much movement,
Yeah.
and so like even with this, if I went pyro super low, or even went on the outside route, there are all these different routes that you can see and carve if you're just staring at the bucket. If I do something wrong, I go, I just did something wrong.
Yep.
Instead of, I missed my aim point by 6 inches, which made it go 47,000 feet right.
If your vision is never interrupted by turning your head, then you can lock in and connect with your throw more, in my opinion. That's how it felt for me, and that made more sense to me, and that's why I think I developed it. I just didn't like the idea of taking my head and my shoulder and my chin away and coming back to that line. And also another thing, when you throw a backhand, you plant with your foot perpendicular.
Yes.
And you open up.
Yep.
And that's fine. It stores the energy and it unloads that energy, and you get a lot of power with that. The problem is slick tee pads, slick fairway. Foot's turning, you introduce the concept of potentially slipping and sliding because your foot's doing more.
Also, this is 147 feet. You don't need power.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need to load the box and core and all that stuff.
Versus forehand plant, foot still,
Yeah.
never rotates left or right. Your
Correct.
foot is still,
Correct.
and therefore there's less slips that I have found. I find when there's inclement conditions, traditional backhand players are usually slipping a bit more than I've ever slipped.
I know I have hot takes about Pro Tour stuff. I've never played on the Pro Tour. Just my outside perspective looking in, one of the things that I see players struggle with, at least it visually looks like they're struggling with, is literally this style of shot.
Right.
Where it's like
They can get up and down
they've
from
got-
380.
Yeah, they've got 570 power.
Yeah.
They've got 430 foot hyzer power, but you get them to this shot
Mm-hmm.
and go, you have to be precise.
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
Puts them in a straitjacket.
And I really think that these little touchy forehand coming to a short course and doing ace runs and trying to dial something in like this is like an underrated skill.
You are going to be such a good PDJ player. I know it. One of these days, I know it.
One of these days, dude, I think maybe MA70 or no, MP70.
MA70. Oh, boy.
So, see, okay, this is perfect. You just said never been a better hex hole.
Yeah.
For me, never been a better hole for me to try your teleport.
My teleport? Yeah, all right. Yeah, sure.
Here, in reality, though,
Okay.
if I can control a distance driver and throw it way softer, I'm going to do that every time because it's less effort. If I can get, I may throw a horrible shot with it, but if I can get it somewhere up there and it's skipping towards the basket and I throw 40%, I'm in.
I mean, it's 284. I could see why you'd go with the 14.5, I guess. Yeah, so the 284, dead straight, right? And there is, I mean, I'm not sure if you can see the basket in frame right now or not, but it's like just barely tucked behind a tree. The objective here is to just barely slide past the two big trees on the left side of the fairway. And so for me, this is just calling for the hex. And instead of trying to flex something, which I think a lot of people try to do in this hole, they try to get it to flex and then hyzer back to the right. Let's do away with the flex part. Let's just take that out of the equation here and just try to throw a dead straight shot. And if it even finishes left, okay, we're trying to get the distance correct and we're trying to make it through the fairway. Those are the two things that I'm concerned about on a shot like this.
Beautiful. I mean, I'm not even going to throw.
You should probably throw.
I mean,
I think for the sake of the video.
it's so good. Yeah, so you're throwing something that's, I mean, obviously it's not full power, but that's a 80%
Yeah,
pop because you're kind of nose up and hyzer.
a little bit, yeah.
Whereas with your teleport that has some mystery substance on the rim, I'm just trying to throw Anheuser and keep it under control. You've given me the yips on this.
I hope
it's gonna work.
You're
though.
throwing
It's
my
gonna
teleport on a 284 hole.
Oh, it slipped. It's a 79 speed disc.
It's an understable disc at high speeds and kind of overstable at low speeds because it's a 14.5 speed. It's just
That wasn't stability. That was it falling out of my
I'm just
hand.
telling you, wide rims are so volatile with the speed. It's really important that you match the speed with the rim width.
All right, I'm gonna throw a good shot with a trail.
So what are you thinking when you step up to a hole like this here, Joe? Are you thinking
I'm
skip off a
thinking,
root?
how do I be worse than I just was? No, no. For genuinely, what I'm actually thinking is, here, let me try a sensible shot with your boost.
Brand new boost. I love this disc. And
So-
I actually this shot actually makes a lot of sense to me.
Because this is sort of PD adjacent, sort of.
Yeah, I would say so. A touch more stability.
Okay, so for me, if I can go Anheuser, control the Anheuser through the flight, and then get a little hookup late. Yeah, just like that.
Beautiful.
That's,
Beautiful. Go in.
it's a little short. And
Yeah,
then
it's
here's,
beautiful, though.
here's a photon. Is this going to be more stable than the boost?
At this speed that you're throwing this, I think it's going to be similar, but
Okay.
maybe a little bit less.
I just threw it higher.
Yeah, very similar line, honestly. That's still a really nice shot.
Yeah.
I want to try this because this is a disc that I actually don't throw. It's not in my bag, and that's a reactor. I think because I kind of just connected with the hex in my first year with MVP, I didn't really find a need because it's such a similar disc, a little bit more stability, but just, I don't know, this is for research purposes.
It's a touch more shallow than a hex, I think.
Oh, shallow too. So it's a feel thing and a little bit of a flight characteristic.
And it'll be a touch more stable.
Okay. All right, here we go.
See how it kind of came out and there was a little bit of a
Yeah.
fluttery kind of a thing?
Yeah, fluttery thing.
I don't
we
know
want
if
that.
it's like, you know how sometimes when they flat top something, the walls of the disc go like this?
Yeah,
It's
just
almost
a
like
bit.
end of a
Yeah.
plus rim.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I feel with the reactor. Great
Ah.
backhand, can't figure it out forehand.
Okay, interesting.
I'm trying your,
Trace.
because I haven't
All right.
gotten to throw it. Is that okay?
Totally, yeah. You.
Speed you need on the
Oh, that is flippy, Jerm.
Yeah, it is. Have you thrown the Fission Hex?
No.
I haven't messed with that much, but I feel like when I have thrown it, I was really impressed that it was just like, if I got the angle right initially out of the hand, straight all the way to the ground with like almost no fade at the end.
It's got that little whoop bubble up, which makes me think that you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to be like you're super flat.
Yeah. So I think the main thing here, again, just trust the hyzer. Let the disc just naturally go bam right out of the hand.
Yep.
Get the nose up just slightly. Let the disc do the work.
Elevator. Get in. Oh my. She's a beaut, bud. Last one. I'm just doing a river dance. Try to do the trick shot with the impulse.
Bro, that thing is wild, man.
Just off.
I'm basically like vicariously imagining what I would do with that disc if I had it.
Well, do it.
Well, I also like to just visualizing it.
It can
too.
be yours.
I'm actually kind of happy that we're coming to this hole. For anyone who's ever played here at Scrapyard, you'd understand the subtle nuance of hole 6. It's a weird line.
It's not a forehand Firebird hole.
No, it's not. There's a couple of options. You've got this one tree right here in the middle that separates two different paths that are both very viable. The inside line is a very direct straight shot that just kind of, it moves off to the right. When I say straight shot, I mean I'm just trying to hit this hole with hyzer and let the disc just kind of like naturally break. I'm not trying to make it do anything crazy.
But to control it, it's got to be hyzer through there
Yes.
because this initial tree,
Correct.
if you're going in hyzer, it is like a magnet.
Totally,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
You want to get that hyzer to make the shot, increase the width of the gap that you're trying to hit. Other side here,
Yeah.
the wide left, this tree pushes you into that back side of the fairway, and it's hard to get the disc to catch that hyzer angle and move right
Still
before
drag.
it gets to the back end of the fairway.
It's not a spike hyzer. If you go spike hyzer with something stable, you're going to land halfway down the fairway and it's going to be horrible. Or you're going to end up pushing this left side of the fairway and hit something. So when I throw this whole hyzer, I mean it's full.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm nose up and around, and I'm dragging the disc around that second tree, so it can be. I like to do something a little bit flippier, just because once it gets around there, it's kind of fighting to get to flat and actually fly as it goes around.
Taking a little bit of speed off.
That's right.
More hyzer, less stability, less speed. Let the disc kind of just naturally make the shape on its own.
You go sensible and go hex or tempo or whatever you want to go
Yeah.
with.
I'll
go flippier fairway driver and just show that line.
All right, so I'll do one of each. I'll try going the high wide, and I'll do that with a hex, and then I'll go inside tight line with the tempo.
Okay. Nice height. It just needs to get down. Ace. Really, really good.
I like it.
I'll go that first shot, and then after you go tempo, I'll do the inside gap too. Little bit too low.
Oh yeah, flip that one up too much.
Make the correction higher, like that.
That's it. That's it right there.
Ace. Come on.
We need a catch cam on these. When's the budget coming for the catch cam? That's what we're really looking for here.
The amount of frisbees people are going to have to buy from this video.
Ooh, another option. Huh? That's on you.
I'm ready.
No, I'm telling the people.
Oh, okay.
The other option here, I don't mind the tempo actually. It was my first instinct. But the range here with a lot of hyzer is just going to naturally push up. And I think that it will hold hyzer before turning over and going left. But I'm still going to stick with the tempo here.
Okay.
Ah, not enough hyzer.
I want to go, I'm going to throw that same boost because
Okay.
I actually, if you can control it, it is kind of fun to get through this center gap. Nope.
All right, so what I want you to see here, when he's doing the shot, watch how he brings his hips. Yeah, that's a good example there. He's bringing his hips
That's parked.
inward here, right? He's not just standing straight upright and throwing a shot like this. In order to achieve that massive hyzer angle, he's got to bring his hips inwards so the elbow can pull in closer to the body, allowing the disc to naturally just hold that hyzer angle as he brings it through. You can bring the hyzer angle in like this out here, but what you're doing is you're making that gap significantly smaller. So by bringing it in here, you're not only allowing your body to more naturally hit that hyzer angle, you're actually also increasing the width of the gap. I'm going to try this again with the range.
That's great. Get right a little bit. Yeah, that's in
Yeah,
the
it just
circle.
kind of continuously moved over there.
And if you want to be extra dumb.
What are you doing?
Oh, it's there.
What?
Hold on. Yeah. Ah! Just threw us something stupid. If you're going to hit that gap, you have to go something stable.
Speaking of trick shots, I got a little flex line for you. I can't grab the disc. Have you tried that one before?
No, but I will with something out of your bag. No, I'll throw it with a fireball. And it's certainly not going to be
smooth with it.
Yeah, that was kind of nasty.
That was kind of smooth. Wait, no fun disc flip out of the hand first?
Oh no, I can't do any of that stuff.
What?
No, remember you said I'm unathletic?
I said dangerously non-athletic.
Well, it still hurts. All right, hole 7, par 5. This is a tee shot that is like the miniature version of the tee shot on hole 5 at Winthrop for me, which is
Yeah, it's a
don't make
setup
this
shot.
complicated.
Yeah.
Just throw a hyzer with whatever you want and get it somewhere out there in the middle.
So let's, I mean, like, instead of talking about the hole, let's focus on like just the fundamentals here. I guess what I'm trying to get at here is like, what is your stock shot in terms of stability? Is it something in the fairway driver range? Is it like a 7, 8 speed, 11 speed? Like, where is your, like, if I needed to go 280 and just barely right, where are you going with that?
So because I don't play tournaments and because I'm out filming and I just need to be able to throw a lot of shots, I tend to go a little bit less stable or neutral. And
Okay.
so trail would be something perfect for this. This is
Perfect.
280. Whereas, yes, I can get a pyro to go there or I
Mm-hmm.
can get a hex to go there, but it's me going pow. And I'm not throwing 18 drives in a round. I'm throwing 118 drives out filming.
Right.
So I've kind of, my form, everything has been kind of catered to that style of thing.
Makes sense. I like that answer. Good answer. It's different for you than it
That's
would be for a
horrible.
tournament player.
But got so lucky.
I don't think I would normally go with a stable disc like a pyro here, but I want to challenge myself to do it. Yeah, I think it
Was it
ended up
good?
really good. Yeah. I think I would feel more comfortable probably going with the speed that you're talking about because the objective here is to go pretty far right.
Yeah.
I would probably go with like a boost.
Sure.
So yeah,
Just pretend that this is the first trail that I threw.
this is the first trail you threw.
Okay, good. We're all on the same page.
Fantastic.
That's just exactly where I want to be.
And for it to be the first throw is even more impressive.
Yeah, it's like when it matters, that's when you got to really show up.
That's right. Okay, second shot here on the par 5. Again, this is another one that kind of is shaped straight and then bends off to the left. And the fairway kind of allows a nice gradual fade for the disc. So it's actually pretty decent. It opens up a nice line for the forehand turnover.
Correct me if I'm wrong, for this style of shot, if you've got the kind of forehand that you do, I like the shape of forehand better on this because backhand, you get to control one turn. Forehand, if you can get it through that initial gap,
Yep.
depending on what disc you throw, you can get it to keep turning all the way, flattening out, and then still have a little bit right at the end.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, I think that this fairway is wide enough that both are accessible, but I like what you're saying here because you can drag the disc into the gap and kind of keeping it more centrally located the whole fairway with the forehand versus the backhand, which would be pushing that back edge with higher speed.
obviously the people that are watching this, unless they're from Charlotte, don't know this reference, and I've already referenced it before. But this is like a hole 17 at Kilbourne shot.
Again,
which
similar.
requires something
Height
where
and turn.
when I realized, like, oh, forehand on this hole is not like an impediment. This actually helps me direct the disc
Totally.
farther into the fairway.
Now we're gonna go with the bouquet again. This isn't for the eagle play. This is just to get down the fairway.
Sure. Really nice height. So do this for me.
Okay.
I want you to try this impulse.
Okay.
And throw it like
All
a lightweight. Remember how you threw the disc that shall not be named at Ledgestone and
Yes.
aced?
Yes.
That.
Oh boy, you ain't kidding.
Yeah, it's flippy.
I put something on it.
Yeah.
Don't
All right.
put something on it.
Hole 8 from the longs, it's 300 feet. It's wonderful because you've got tunnel. It tightens as you get to the short pad, and then you've got a water carry late. It's not that far. It probably plays 270 or something because it goes slightly downhill, but it's a tricky shot, especially forehand. I'm going to go impulse. I'm going to try it.
Of course you are.
It's got to be up. Somehow inbounds. Ridiculous. Go orbital. No! Too flippy.
I think it's got some carry to it.
Well, just, yeah, it's 11 speed. I'll throw better shots with something smarter.
Fission hex. Oh, wow.
Just shy?
Yeah, just a bit shy. Just didn't quite get it to drag over. All right, here we go. Lastly, I'm going to throw, hex. I like that disc a lot. I think this is the last one I'm going to throw from back here. Even though I got some drivers, I don't really want to throw them. I'm going to throw this detour. And we are just going to try to focus on keeping the palm up.
Yep.
Keeping the disc with hyzer and just letting it stand up the whole way.
Come on, Jerm. Come on, Jerm. Just, come here. Just one of the best shots I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, condolences to the big guy. I shouldn't even throw anything after this, especially not a 157 Fission fireball that I've never thrown.
Why did you throw that?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, it's actually, you know what? It's dry.
Let's get the hell out of here and go play hole 8 shorts like God intended.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What is a more famous hole in disc golf? The Gates of Valhalla or hole 8 at Scrapyard?
Is the Gates of Valhalla the one that Sully skip aced?
Yeah.
I mean, what's more epic or what's more seen? Because this is more seen.
What's more famous? Whatever your interpretation of that.
Well, we just met a guy that's here from Arizona that exclusively came here because of all the videos and had to see this hole in person, which
and he also said, I thought that maybe Joe would be out here today, and he was right.
It's a good chance. It's a good chance.
Maybe this hole?
Let's get an ace right now.
All right,
one of us.
Right.
I've got these OTB pyros. Shout out to Danny. Shout out to the boys. Little flippier for a pyro, which is awesome. Good shot, dude. Nice start. Really like that. Glad we're here.
Safe.
Good. Yeah, good.
It just actually wasn't that bad. All right, tempo.
The wind immediately
Yeah,
picks
that
up.
was so cool.
Oh,
Yeah, the bank shot. I got to call that, huh?
I've done it one time with a
Off the trees?
with a harp. Yeah,
I don't know how this is going to fly.
What
we
is
have
it?
got
Uplink?
an uplink.
just like a beat to crap detour.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot of wind.
Yeah.
A lot of wind.
We should have brought that out earlier in the round. That's kind of a fun disc.
All right, I'm going fireball. Nope.
Do you realize fireball?
Yeah, deflector.
God doesn't care. You brought deflectors out here today?
Oh, okay. It's getting that weird lift, which means
Bro, that thing is the most overstable throw. What am I trying to say? I can't even talk. It's so overstable.
right there.
What is
Played
that?
for the lift. I played for the lift.
Good God.
Entropy.
Okay.
Envy. Nope. It's going to lift. Keep lifting. Just get out of the water. Thank you. And then here's that reactor.
Is this mine or yours?
Mine.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Just over it.
Okay. If we're doing stacks, I got stacks.
Go for it.
Let's get the paradox out of the way. I don't know much about this.
It's in.
No!
Just. I'm sorry. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. It's just miserable. That's just. There's so much chains. It's just in the bucket.
Let's go range.
You made a perfect wind read.
It was so
with
good.
a paradox.
It was so good.
God.
Oh, that's good height there. The line is just impeccable. I have to give credit to the line.
Shout out line.
Shout out Chance.
Okay.
Give me this here balance. Balança.
Good height again.
Why do I do this?
Yeah, you definitely don't want to go too high on this.
All right, Pyro. Just came from Puerto Rico last week.
Is this the one?
This is the one.
Oh, man.
14 of 15 times that I threw this off the tee ended up with a birdie. And the other time was a missed putt from 28 feet in the headwind.
I text you about this disc.
This disc right here was doing work last week and has been doing work ever since I put it in the bag. It's the very first Pyro I've ever thrown. I think I have like 40 Pyros now.
But that's the one.
But they're all just waiting for this guy to mess up, and it hasn't messed up yet.
Well, this is going in.
All right.
Drop. Drop.
I like that disc a lot. Okay, reactor, which I don't know, and then my tempo I'll save for last.
Okay. Just absolute piss missile. Just other side of the chains. Here we go. We're dialed now, though.
Tempo.
Drop. Drop. Ugh. Do it. Oh, good shot.
Yeah.
There's not many discs that you can throw on this hole because you shouldn't throw forehands on this. I know of one person who's forehand aced this hole. It's Ethan Derlin, the local Charlotte guy, on a T-bird that was a tournament disc that he was like, yeah, I'll just try this. And threw the big wide
Sick.
Annie shot that's kind of panning as it goes.
Yeah.
So maybe 3 or 4 shots on this and probably some lost discs. I'm going
Definitely
signal.
those.
Here we go.
Impressively straight. I must give you credit for that. That is impressively straight.
Listen, it's on land.
That is impressively
Was
straight.
it a good shot? No.
No.
No, not at all. Please get on land.
It wasn't going to go straight for me. I wasn't going to do what you did.
Yeah.
I was going to go.
You were gonna make it turn.
I was going to make it turn. Oh,
this is a
one
crave,
Okay.
which I don't know if is the right move because I'm gonna try to do the wide shot.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And see if I can get it to.
I would err on the side of overturning.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to do. I don't usually feel nervous.
That's incredible. Considering that you hit a limb 4 feet off the tee pad,
I mean,
that's insane.
That's actually a line that I've never thought of.
Genuinely, you might be the first person ever to hit this tree on this disc golf hole.
I'm trying to decide if I want to try it one more time with the Wrath.
How are you deciding that while walking to? You've already made your decision. We all know that you've decided.
Yeah.
No way.
There's just no possible way. There's just no possible way.
How did I not draw metal, dude? That was so good.
Just a couple more to see if it's even possible. No, that's gonna pan out. Yeah. Still gonna be in the water. It's gotta be.
Why are you doing
All right, last
this?
one. This is called crash out. Yeah, it's over. All right. Sometimes you have to just donate
Zoom in on
discs.
those splash. Oh, baby! He can't be stopped! Just stop, Joe! He's lost his mind!
All right, I'm over. It's over.
No.
It's over.
What are you doing? Why?
It's called a biblical crash out.
Oh, brutal.
All right.
Amazing.
All right, that is it for the first installment. It feels like there has to be another 1 or 2 of these that we do in the future.
We gotta source questions. I mean, we can talk about all these things. I can give you guys information, but I do want to know like what specifically people are having trouble with. I mean, not like individually, but like as a whole. Like there's certain things. Is it a footwork thing that you guys are more interested in? Is it disc selection? Is it how to roll the wrist? How to get more distance? All those things are really important for the forehand.
There's no shortage of people that are like form teachers, form guru people. I've never claimed to be that. I don't even know what I'm doing. You pointed out something on hole 6 that I was doing, had no conscious awareness of. So for me, the video that we just made is the one that I would want to see, which is highest level, big picture. Tell me what you're doing forehand wise. What are you thinking? What's your aim point up in a window? How are you conceptualizing the spin? Obviously we can't do everything in however long this video turns out to be, but I do think that this is a good starting point, a good primer, and it was just fun to get out there and throw silly shots. Always. I haven't thrown that many forehands in a while.
I'm not gonna lie, my finger pad is wearing down pretty good.
This is where I get my calluses, right here.
Oh, I'm with you. Yeah, it's typically, you know, when I'm playing around casually, I'm not throwing just forehands. In fact, I'm usually doing the opposite. Because my forehand is so natural for me, I'm working on the backhand, trying to lock that down.
I've noticed, like, in terms of body taxation, it's less taxing for me to throw backhands. And so if it's a line that I can throw a backhand shot, and even if it's a putter turnover or something, unless I just like really need a great shot and I can always rely on my forehand, I kind of go to the backhand too. So, you know, but it's good to get out there and do that. And, you know, my shot with the impulse on 2, your shot with the freaking paradox on 8. There's so many cool moments that are shots that we would have never thrown. That Wrath shot here is like a shot I never would have thrown. So
what I'll end this video with is the number one advice that I think I would give to anyone who's like just getting the bug, maybe just starting, or maybe you've been around for a while, but you've kind of just, you thought that you knew your game's ins and outs and you just kind of stick in your lane. Let's break out of that a little bit. Let's go to the field and let's take all the discs that we have, all the ones that we like. Let's take the ones that are in the garage too. Let's go out to the field with like 50 discs or so, okay? And we'll set up some cones at different distances. Let's start off at 200, go to 250, 300, so on and so forth. Let's go hyzer with every single disc in your bag. Hyzer forehand every disc, backhand hyzer every disc. And then do that for the different distances and different shot shapes. I want to see anhyzers with understable discs and anhyzers with overstable discs.
Sure.
The point of the exercise is to figure out the different ways of solving those problems, solving different shot shapes, and realizing that sometimes to get a disc to fit the fairway and go the farthest on an anhyzer backhand, it's actually going to be done best with an overstable disc.
That's right.
It might go against what you're thinking in your head because overstable goes left, but thrown at the right angle with the right amount of spin and force, it actually might carry that fairway the longest. So you want to learn these things by going to the field and trying these things out. And that's how you discover, for me, the forehand, how I could get one to go left with hyzer, how to make it go left throwing it straight, and how to make it go left thrown with anhyzer. So there's all different ways of doing it.
Go make yourself, I think that's a perfect thing to start with. Then go on the course and throw forehands for the whole 9 or 18 holes and make yourself throw stuff that you otherwise wouldn't. Because I think there's a huge difference between throwing stuff in a field and doing field work versus being on an actual course and seeing what you have to do to shape something in a window. Go ahead, buddy. You're fine. We'll watch you. Here would be my biggest advice, and I know that you'll say amen to this. The best thing that has ever helped me with forehand touch is playing catch.
Oh, totally.
Go get a pixel or a proxy or something that's neutral. A glitch is great too, something lightweight.
Or a pitch, all those.
Any of these things. Go play catch with a buddy, because the thing that you'll do that you would never do if you were just throwing in a field is you will really want to get that disc to the person that you're throwing to.
And reps, a lot of reps. Oh, baby,
come on. Sit. Safe. Love it. That's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Like Jerm said, put some stuff in the comments. Let us know questions that you have. We'll do this video again. It's the off season, so thankfully we get to hang out and eat barbecue and stuff. So let us know. There'll be more of these. We'll also maybe bring some other guests on over the months that are coming up and blah, blah, blah. So thank you guys. Subscribe, follow Jerm on Instagram, buy Frisbees that have his face on them, tell MVP that they should triple his salary. I don't know. Just why not?
Try that. Let's see what that
Just
works.
send an email. All right. See ya.
See ya. We definitely got to get Earhart out here too, man.